any newspaper baron ever had, bigger than William Randolph Hearst by 10x. It's a really, really big company. And so whenever you vest that much power in one organization, you run the risk that they can choke off dissent or views that they disagree with. I mean, my real concern with Facebook is the agreements it enters into with foreign governments to go along with their censorship of what they call hate speech, which is, of course, speech I disagree with. And that's not allowed. And Facebook really, I don't think, and Google's the same, and Twitter as well, no American company should play along with censorship in other countries. I mean, look, we have laws here that govern the conduct of American businesses abroad. And they say really clearly, you may not engage in bribery. It may be legal in Nigeria, but it's illegal here, and American companies can't engage in it. Why do the same standards not apply to the First Amendment? Here, of course, we all have to abide by the Bill of Rights, and the first part of it is the First Amendment, which guarantees our right to say distressing things. But American companies, when they go abroad, can collaborate with the censorship of foreign governments in order to make money. Why is that okay?
Exactly. And then it allows them, my biggest concern is it allows them to beta test that kind of voice of Mao Zedong, voice of the Stasi control over there with a soft rollout and then do it here. And that's what I'm seeing is the soft rollout and the media pushing it. Oh, well, they're allowed to. It's their site. But you're advertising it like a commons, and then you're selectively enforcing on conservative or libertarian ideas. To me, that's so dangerous. Your dad, headed up Voice of America back when it really was Voice of America. From that perspective, I mean, why don't we recognize this as real Soviet-style evil? Very threatening.
Because the speech for which people abroad are being punished is speech that our elites, the left that runs this country, doesn't believe ought to be expressed. They agree with the censorship. That's the bottom line. So, for example, in Canada and in Western Europe, civilized countries with market economies and real justice systems, there are a lot of people, relatively speaking, in jail for saying unpopular things, not for hurting anyone, but for expressing verboten views that the government doesn't like, and they go to jail for it. And nobody ever says anything about it. I mean, this happens literally in Great Britain, in Canada, in France, in Germany. People are in prison. Now, I don't agree with the views, by and large, those people expressed. But as an American...
But if they want to deny the Holocaust, that's their business, even though I find it abhorrent. Exactly. But now it's criticize open borders, you're arrested. See, once you set that precedent...
Where's exactly right? Where's the line? And the line is always in the same place. It's whatever is unfashionable according to the people in charge. And that's the whole freaking point of guaranteed free speech, of a First Amendment, is to say, look, this doesn't change. It's immutable. It's a right written in stone that can't be taken away by whatever government comes in next.
It's more important overall, I think, than the Second Amendment, because without the right to communicate, it doesn't matter if you have guns or not, you're not going to be able to mount any opposition to tyranny. And you want to fix things with words first before you go to guns.
That's exactly right. That's why they're in that order. That's exactly right. First, we have the conversation, and then obviously violence has got to be a last resort, and all people of goodwill, very much including me, hope it is a last resort.
But if they get physical with us, But
you don't ever want to have to exercise your Second Amendment rights. I mean, they're a kind of emergency, bag that you keep just in case. But first, the bulwark against tyranny is the First Amendment, your right to say what you believe. And it's been totally eliminated in Western Europe. I mean, of course, it doesn't exist in most of Asia. We knew that. But the fact that our closest allies don't recognize the First Amendment, nobody ever says that. And I wonder why. And again, why
I agree. I think these movements are more scary than what we saw with the communists over 70 years. Because, yeah, they killed a lot of people and it was horrible. But as for the whole world being in danger of falling to tyranny, I literally think we're in the most dangerous period the world's ever seen for just basic rights, family rights, property rights, First Amendment rights being under attack. What do you think?
I think, of course. And we're also in the most dynamic moment of our lifetimes. I mean, the whole post-Second World War order imposed on the world by the victors, mostly by us, is collapsing. I mean, all of it is collapsing. The EU,
You're right.
On June 23rd of this year, I think Brexit is going to happen. I'm for it, by the way, but I think that's just the first step to the collapse of the European.
This is an incredible time. Let me ask you that question in the minutes we have, because that's where I was going next. We're at a major watershed, obviously, a crossroads. The establishment everywhere, different establishments are trying to maintain control, use the crisis for more control, which I think is backfiring and making the awakening that much more explosive. I'm concerned about that. I'm not dreaming of some bloody revolution like the leftists and the communists are. I've got this lady on Infowars.com, Kurt Nimmo's story, communist Angela Davis, She says, Black Lives Matter, this is what we've been waiting for, and then goes into basically say, you know, take out Trump, go after Trump politically, do whatever you have to, and then her cohorts start saying, yeah, let's kill him, and tweeting, kill him. I see red flags all over the country now. I see communists coming out from under their rocks, dreaming of some weird jihad.
Well, exactly. Once these things get rolling, I mean, look, populism is always a reaction against something real. It doesn't happen by accident. These movements don't come from nowhere. They're a reaction against some injustice. That's real. The Trump movement, Black Lives Matter, I mean, it's all rooted in something. But once they get rolling, you don't know where they're going to wind up. That's the scary thing. Once these populist movements get underway, no one's in charge of them, and they can end up in a really, really ugly place. That's just true. You're right to be worried. All of us should be
And George
worried. Soros
openly admits he's using these movements to overthrow countries. So we're in trouble.
Yes. Scary.
Daily Caller, dailycaller.com, dailycaller.com. I got to tell you, Tucker, that's why I didn't want to talk about Glenn Beck, but he's so dangerous. I have to try to, you know, obviously push him over the edge. He's doing that to himself. I want him to get help. I want him to hit bottom so he gets better. But when I see Breitbart doing such great work, and I see Daily Caller doing such amazing work, and I see WorldNet Daily doing great work as well, and Drudge helping magnify all that, and some of the other good talk show hosts, Hannity get more hardcore, I feel good. I feel safer. I feel like we might be able to win and turn things around. I don't think, oh, look how they're bigger than me, or they has more that big story on dailycaller.com, or Tucker Carlson making national news. I feel good. And I wish other hosts were like we are, where we just want to try to change the culture. It isn't about being the only big guy out there. We're all, like Kennedy said, rising tide raises all ships. And we have to do that because they are trying to take our freedoms. That's why I'm here to say, even though we disagree on some things, I appreciate the work you're doing, and I sleep better at night knowing you and Matt Drudge and others are there. What's your view overall on that? And then briefly, what's your take on the Trump VP situation?
I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. If you have sincere beliefs, it pleases you to hear the truth spoken, no matter who it's spoken by. Always. I don't even care. I like it. I love listening to people put things, sum them up in a way that is true and real and affects outcomes.
Sure, so, you're not in competition with other libertarian or patriot groups. You want to win.
I love it. I want more of it. As for his VP pick, I mean, obviously Jeff Sessions will always be my first choice because I think he's the smartest. He's the most impressive member of the Senate. I agree with him the most on immigration and trade.
Okay, have you heard that, though? I mean, I'm asking you.
No, I have not heard that.
We're about to come back with Roger Stone. We're going to get, I mean, but I tell you, okay, so Jeff Sessions.
Yeah, I mean, that's my hope. And I hope he doesn't try and stunt cast it. I mean, that my concern is he'll try to overthink it, get someone flaky who you've never heard of, who isn't smart or interesting.
Yeah, they're talking about having Warren with Clinton for the double stunt of two women. No more gimmicks. We need the real deal.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Pick someone who believes what you believe and might do a better job of articulating. I mean, Trump is this amazing figure, but if I could pick one shortcoming that bothers me is he's not a good explainer sometimes. He doesn't get deep into
That's right.
why
and different leftist groups might not try to assassinate him if they know Sessions is there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if, I think Trump, I think anybody in politics right now is in peril because there's so many lunatics running around. And I don't like to think about that stuff. But I do think that what I really think is that Sessions would be a guarantee that Trump will will follow through on some of these promises he's made or implied. And that's meaningful to me.
Well, when folks spread the word about dailycaller.com or Infowars.com or DrudgeReport.com, they are supporting free speech. We are under attack because we're telling the truth. So promote us all, listeners. It's key. Thank you, Tucker. Powerful interview.
Thanks a million, Eric.
You bet. We'll be right back. Hey, thank you, Tucker. That was powerful. We're coming back with Roger Stone.
The Empire.
This is going to be big. Okay, you want to know who the VP is? Get ready. Are we about to leak it? Find out in 3 minutes. All right, I taped a 21-minute interview Saturday with Roger Stone that is going to premiere here in about 2 minutes. Then we'll go to break, come back with the rest of it. This hour will end, and David Knight will take over in the fourth hour. He'll also take over at the end of this hour to bring you into the fourth hour. Just briefly, I was talking about defending free speech, okay? It is a war that is taking place for your mind right now. It's an info war. And the globalists never intended that people would reverse engineer their operation, figure it out, read their own white papers by the hundreds, and take action against them. I've done that. And I've seen my perspective and my research that I got from Patriots and the John Birch Society and others. They put me on the trail. I did deep research as well. But I'm not territorializing that. The point is, I've seen myself in 21 years change the narrative massively. And the talking points and the specific angles and the nomenclature, the words, the lexicon that I've created now become adopted worldwide in intelligentsia and political circles. That's not bragging. That's as a battle report to you to say if some scrapper from Texas can change the world, you can change the world as well. And you are the info warriors. It's been my interfacing with you that has been 99.9% of the action. But it was my intention and my engagement and my will that helped light the fuse. So we're winning. We're moving forward. But more than ever, when I tell Tucker Carlson, hey, people need to support what you're doing because they are under attack. This isn't just free speech that's under attack. These are the groups, the organizations like InfoWars that is attacked by White House mouthpieces and Clinton operatives all the time. Make no mistake, I take my life in my hands every day going up against these people. But I'm not a hero. It's self-preservation. I'd be insane not to do that. So this video's not out yet. We're going to post it at the end of the hour to Infowars.com, red linked. And the big issue here is, who is the VP pick? It's so important. And I have pretty much accurately predicted who is on the short list. Let's just say that. Stone goes over it, but I have other sources. And I want to be clear, Stone is not the source of this. On record, he's not. But he believes my analysis is correct, is the right thing to do, and is where this is going. And so it's fair for me, he said, to say that I think this is the best choice and I think this is who it is, because that's his opinion too. So you're going to find out in a moment. But he's been best buddies with Trump. I mean, these are running buddies. The other guys are political analysts. These are running buddies that argue with each other and everything else. I mean, Stone's the only guy that's not a yes man to Trump, basically. He went to Inside Baseball. He's a really interesting guy. God, he wanted to get to know me years ago, and I was too busy. And now I want to be friends with this guy. I mean, no wonder he was like best buddies with Nixon after Nixon got out of office. You know, and they hung out and everything a lot, I mean, like on a weekly basis, because he's just really funny and really smart and fun to hang out with and fun to drink a beer with, too. Please support the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. 20% off on Lung Cleanse ends today. 20% off. We've got so much more coming up, but that's going to sell out today. We've got 25. It's actually 26%. But they put 25 up there for this new great air purifier at InfoWarsStore.com, the Alexa Pure Breeze. Nobody else has that deal. X2, all of it. You need these products, and we need the money to have reporters in Germany and reporters in California. I mean, we are kicking butt. InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com. And then we saw Laura Southern out there reporting. You see how that works? I mean, it's independent media doing the job of the prostitute media, the Decepticon media. So this is how we're able to do it. You're seeing the fruits, getting great products, InfoWarsStore.com. You get 10% off when you sign up for auto ship, free shipping on orders of $50 or more. And that's on top of all the other big discounts we're running. So thank you all for your support. I want to salute you and let you know you are the tip of the spear. One last thing here. They've not had this special in 4 years. It's an excellent unit, and I personally bought one of these. We also, more and more here at the office are trying to move to solar. Solutions from Science was created to help patriotic Americans prepare for potential hard times. They offer a variety of unique products created specifically for those who would like to take the necessary precautions in protecting themselves and their families. They also help people seeking alternative ways to become self-sufficient, or as we like to say, getting off the grid. Products such as survival gear, food supplies, solar power, energy, and more. Again, folks, these are wonderful folks. Solutionsfromscience.com. Check them out today. Again, we'll put that back up on screen for folks and give you the specific URL for Solutions from Science. They've been a sponsor on and off of ours for about 13, 14 years. Solutionsfromscience.com. And it's not just the solar power systems they have. It's so much more. Check it out today, solutionsfromscience.com. Okay, without further ado, we will go ahead and go to the Roger Stone piece. We're going to run this up to break, come back in the next segment, and finish it up. And then David Knight will be taking over. So here it is, the VP for Trump leaked question mark. And we are back. Roger Stone, Trump insider, former head of his campaign, confidant, is here in studio with us. This is part 3. He came in Friday, was live on air with us over the weekend. We war gamed how to make this country free and great again. And I pressed him hard. Who is the VP pick? Just has Trump decided yet? And he said, you know, I'm not going to tell you what I think or what I know until we do just a special report, and we will put it out there to the public. But he said only one man knows, and that's Donald Trump. And I said, okay, well, I have no dog in the fight against Corey Lewandowski. I mean, I defended him, when that woman said he pushed her down and all that. It looked like he just kind of shot.